Good morning, students. So I again welcome back after your first lecture, and I hope that you are along with your maths practical book. Okay, so let us start without wasting our time, because I wanted that most of the topic of the practical book I should explain and you should complete that. Okay, so let us start with our class. So I will introduce myself first. Myself, Saili Srirambore, and I'm from City of Los Angeles, Mahim School. I'll be taking your Maths 1 practical, and those who have not joined yesterday, so again for them, I will repeat that this is not a revision lecture. From yesterday, we have started with the Maths 1 practical. And this booklet you had received from your school, okay, and you need to complete because it contains marks. Okay, so without wasting much time, we will just continue where we have stopped yesterday. Okay, yesterday we have seen two practicals, practical number 1 and practical number 2. Along with the two practicals, we have seen some activity-based question, okay? And that activity-based question, as you know, that they are very important because you should know how to attain the practical-based question. So those who have not joined, for them, I will just introduce the cover page and then we will start from where we have stopped yesterday. Okay, so see students, this is your practical booklet, and in this booklet there is a combined part of 1 and part 2. Okay, there is no separate booklet for two separate sections. Both the sections are covered under the same booklet. Okay, so yesterday we have started with this first practical, that is the assuming the set of students in a class of standard 9 to be universal set. Show the sets of kabaddi player students and kho-kho player students in a Venn diagram. We have completed that practical. Then we had also done with the second one, that is to verify with the property n of a plus n of b equals to n of a union b plus n of a intersection b. Okay, now based on these two properties, practicals, based on these two practicals and whatever the extra things which are not there, or which topics are not covered in the practical from the lesson number 1. Okay, so that particular examples are given in your practical book. Okay, so we'll see that. Okay, we were here, that is on page number 4. Okay, on page number 4 we completed till question number 5, and that in that, if you will see that first 3 were solved example, and question number 4 and question number 5 were the activity based question. Okay, so now let us start with the next segment of our lecture, that is solve the following examples in the provided space. Okay, now as I told you students that from the chapter number 1, that is the sets, two practicals are there, practical number 1 and practical number 2. Okay, so the main question, it is covered under the practical, but there can be a different type of question or different small topics which cannot be covered under the practical. Okay, so such type of question, it is there in this part. Okay, in this part. So let us see the first one. Write the sets using listing method and classify them as finite, infinite, and empty sets. Okay, so here they have given you 3 examples. Okay, you need to first convert that example because it is in the rule method. So first convert that in the listing method. That is the basic rule of the sets. Whatever the set you get, see that whether it is in the listing method or not. Okay, when you convert a particular set in the listing method, it is very easy for you to solve that particular question. Okay, so here first of all 3 sub questions are given. You need to solve that, convert it in the listing form, and then identify whether that particular set is a finite, infinite, or empty set. Okay, so let us see the first one. Set of 2-digit numbers which are perfect square as well as perfect cube. Okay, now here you can see, if you read the question, set of 2-digit number. Okay, 2-digit number, that means what? We want 2-digit numbers, but that 2-digit number, it should be a perfect square and a perfect cube. Okay, perfect square, all of you know what do you mean by a square, and square root, cube, and cube root. So what is that 2-digit number which is both a perfect square also and perfect cube also? Okay, so if you'll see that 4 is a perfect square, but 4 is not a perfect cube. Okay, then 9 is a perfect square, but it is not a perfect cube. Okay, so like that, you have to find out a 2-digit number which is a perfect square as well as a perfect cube. So here set A is equal to 64. Now this 64, it is a perfect square of 8. Okay, and it is a perfect cube of 4. Okay, so here A is equal to, in the bracket, 64. Now here, since only one element is there, and that is countable. Okay, that is countable. So that particular set A is a finite set. I hope that this first section is clear. Okay. Then the second sub question. D, the name of the set is what? D, A comma B, such that A and B belongs to the integer. Okay, condition is given, A comma B. Okay, A and B, they belongs to integer. Now integer means what? I told you when I taken this lesson, integer means you should only remember a one word, that is a number line. That means positive, negative, and 0. Okay, integer means what? Number line. So A, B belongs to integer, and A minus B is equal to 7. A minus B equals to 7. That means you have to select the values of A and B. Okay, you have to select the values of A and B such that the difference between these two numbers, it should be 7. Okay, it should be 7. Now, for example, 10, if I take 10 minus 3, it will be 7. Okay, whereas 10 is a positive number, 3 is also a positive number. So positive number, they belongs to the integer. Yes, then 9 minus 2. Okay, 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2, you will get it what? As 7. Okay, 9 minus 2, you will get it what? 7. Again, 9 and 2, it belongs to the integer. So such numbers you have to take whose difference is 7. Now, you know that when you draw a number line, students, when you draw a number line, it is an infinite from both the ends, from the positive as well as from the negative end side. Okay, it goes on. Why? Because natural number, you know, natural numbers, they are infinite. We don't know which is the last natural number. Similarly, when we draw a number line, there is infinite numbers of positive as well as of negative. Okay, so you can take n number of examples. You can take n number of examples. Okay, and you can get the answer as the difference between the two numbers as 7. Okay, you can take one positive, one negative, both the positive or both the negative. Okay, but what the condition is, what difference should be 7. Okay, and here since it belongs to integer, that means you can take positive, you can take negative, you can take 0. Okay, you can take 0. Okay, so here some examples I have written. D is equal to 9 comma 2. 9 minus 2, it will be 7. Then 10 comma 3. 10 minus 3 equals to 7. Then 5. Okay, 5 and minus 2. That means 5. Okay, minus of minus 2 will give you what? 5 plus 2, 7. Okay, so n number of examples you can get. So this particular set D is an infinite set. Is an infinite set. Okay, and this answer, your friend may get different answer, you may get different answer, no doubt, but you should remember the condition that whatever the numbers you are taking, they belongs to the integer, and the second condition is that the difference between these two integers must be 7. Okay, must be 7. Now the third sub question. B is equal to x such that x belongs to n. X belongs to n. Capital N means what? Natural numbers. Okay. 5x minus 2 is equal to 0. Now here you can see this particular condition is given. Equation is given. Apart from the condition, I would say that a equation is given because equal to sign is there. Okay. So first of all, you need to solve this equation. Okay. And find out the value for the x. So here 5x minus 2 equals to 0. Okay. So 5x will be equal to 2 minus 2 will go that side. It will become plus 2. So x is equal to what? 2 upon 5. So either you can write down 2 upon 5 or if you will divide, then it can be 0.4. Further, if you carry out the division. Okay. So B is equal to either 2 upon 5 or 0.4. Now, this answer we are getting. We are not getting n number of answers like in case of the second sub question. Okay. So here the set B is a finite set. Okay. Set B is a finite set. Now on the next page, you can see, because this solved, wherever there is a question, solve the example, they have given the answers. Okay, they have given the answers at the end of the question. So the wherever the space is there, you need to solve and check whether the answer is correct or no. Why? Because there itself the answers are given. Okay. Now this is the, you can see here the answer 64 finite set. All these answers are given of the question number 1. Okay. Now let's go to the question number 2. Okay. Now in question number 2, what is the question? A is equal to 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay. 4 elements are there, 2, 3, 5, 7. Write any 4 subsets of A. Okay. Now, as I told you that in practical, only the major part or the main part is covered, but remaining small subtopics, small concepts, they are given in the form of the example that you need to solve. So here subset, it is a very small part. It is very small part in the chapter sets. So here particular one set is given and you have to write any 4 subsets of A. Now here the question is what? Any 4 subset. Okay. So here also there will be n number of answers. N number of answers different. You may get different answer. Your friend may get different answer, but all the answers will be correct unless and until they satisfy the condition which is given in the question. So what is the condition? That it should be the subset of A. Subset means what? It should be the part of the A. Okay. Your particular one set is given and you need to write 4 sets which are part of that particular set A. Okay. So here in the answer you can see that subsets of A are as follows. I have written some subsets, that is 2, 3, 5, 3, 5, 2, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. Some sets I have written. Okay. So any 4 you can write down from this. Okay. Any 4 subsets. This question was very simple. Okay. Next, that is the question number 3rd. Show A intersection B by Venn diagram. Okay. Now here they have mentioned that Venn diagram is must. Okay. By Venn diagram, that means you have to solve the, you have to draw the Venn diagram. Okay. If A equals to, set A is given 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. B equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 sets are given, set A and set B, as well as the universal set is given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now, whenever students you want to draw the Venn diagram of a particular set. Okay. Whenever you want to draw the Venn diagram of a particular set, see that first check whether the sets are, which type of sets they are. Okay. Which type of sets they are. Now here if you will see in this set A and B, some elements are common. Some elements are common. That is element 2 and element 4. Okay. So it can be shown by the intersection part. Okay. So see here, this is set A. In set A is what? 2, 4. I will just highlight red one. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. This is the set A. Then set B, if you'll see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And the common element, they are nothing but, which are the common element? 4 and 2. Okay. Which are the 4 common element? 4 and 2. So here you can see the common part, that is the 4 and 2. So using the Venn diagram, first of all, what you will do, you will use the rectangle for showing the universal set. Okay. Under this universal set, all the elements, it should be covered. Okay. So set A, set B and this intersection part. Why? Because you have to show A intersection B. Okay, so this intersection you need to show it, or you need to highlight by using the pencil. Okay, you can do the shading part. This intersection part you can show it by the shading. Okay, so that it is highlighted. So A intersection B will be what? 2, 4. Okay. Here you don't have to solve. Only you have to draw the diagram of draw the Venn diagram and represent that set. Now next one. Fourth question. If n of A is equal to 7, n of B is equal to 6, n of A union B is equal to 10, find n of A intersection B. Now this type of question we have done in the practical itself. Okay, that is in the practical number 2. So here only you need to remember the formula, that is n of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Okay. Now many times students get confused between the union and the intersection. So they don't remember where to write the union and where to write the intersection. So students, it is clear that union means what? We are taking all together. Okay, we are taking all together. So that particular set always comes to the left. Okay, and intersection, it will come to the last of the formula. Okay, so this is this small trick you can remember, that is union, it always a bigger set. Okay, it always a bigger set and it will come to the left hand side, and the intersection will come on the right hand side but at the last. Okay, but at the last. So write the formula, n of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Substitute it. What you will get? 10 is equal to 7 plus 6. 7 and 6, they have given the values. Okay. Then union, they have given the values as 10. Okay. So substitute 10 is equal to 7 plus 6 minus intersection 7 plus 6. Now here also you need to follow the BODMAS rule. Okay, BODMAS rule. So 7 plus 6, that is 13 minus n of A intersection B. Okay, so this plus 10, it will come this side, it will become minus. So 13 minus 10, it will be 3. And here you can see at the last they have given the answer, that is the intersection of the set A and B is how much? 3. Okay. Now wherever there is a simplification, that means addition, subtraction, multiplication, basic operations comes together, students follow the BODMAS rule. Okay, follow the BODMAS rule. Otherwise you will solve the example but the answer will not come correct. Okay, if you will follow the BODMAS rule, sure that you will get the correct answer. Okay, so when there is a mixture or combination of different mathematical operations, always follow the BODMAS rule. Okay. Now after the question number 4, which is on page number 5, on page number 6, you can see the 2 word problems are there. Okay, on page number 6, there are 2 word problems and it is there in your exercise 1.4. Okay, word problems. So we'll check out and see how to solve the word problems. Now, before solving, there is one correction, student, over here. Some printing mistake is there. in question number 5, okay, in question number 5, out of 1000 students, 480 play hockey, 400 play football, and 60 play both the games. So here for both the games, they have given the number of students as 60. Okay, but it is not 60, it should be 80. Okay, it should be what? 80. So you can make the correction there itself. See here how I have made the correction. 80 play both the games. Okay. Find the number of students who do not play either of the two games. So here you know that total 1000 students are there. Total 1000 students. So that consider as the universal set. Okay. A big set. Universal set. Now out of that universal set, that is 1000, 480 they play hockey, they like to play hockey. 400 they like to play football, whereas 80 students are there, they like or they play both the games, means hockey as well as football. They play both the games. Now your duty, what is the question that you have to find out? Number of students who do not play either of the two games. Means there may be among the 1000 students, there may be some students, they don't like sports. Okay, they don't like sports. So there may be few students. Okay, so that few students, the number we have to find out how many students are there who do not play either the football or the hockey. Okay, so what we will do, first of all, as I told you that the 1000 students are given total, that you will consider as the universal set. Okay, then set A with the number of students play hockey. Okay, I have taken, you can take any notation name. I have taken A and B, you can take any other alphabet also, it will do. So A represent the number of students who play hockey. So N of A will be how much? N of A will be how much? 480. Okay, now let B be the number of students play football. Okay, I have taken B as the number of students who play football. So N of B is how much? Wait, okay. N of B is equal to 400. Okay, so total students here is how much? 1000. So as I told you that total students I have taken as what? N of U or the universal set. Okay, universal set which is equal to 1000. So number of students play hockey and football. That means they like both the games. They play both the games, hockey as well as football. So that will be what? A intersection B. That means they are in the set A also. They are in the set B also. Okay, they are in the set B also. So notation, it will be N of A intersection B equals to 80. Now as you know our formula, that is N of A union B equals to N of A plus N of B minus N of A intersection B. Okay, this formula, so substitute in this. N of A equals to 480, B the value is what? 400 minus 80. So it will be, here also you need to go through the Bodmas rule. Okay, so N of A union B equals to how much? 800. That is 880 minus 60, you will get what? 800. Now I will tell you students, here many students what they do mistake or still maybe confusion, even one among you may be confused that union means the all together. So why we are not taking this 1000 students as the union. Okay, why we are not taking this, or may some students they substitute union here as 1000. So it is wrong. Here what they have given, out of 1000 students, that means the total number of students they have given as 1000. Okay, they have not told the number of students who play hockey, the number of students who play football, the number of students though they do not play. Altogether 1000. They have not at all mentioned here in the question. Okay, so this point you need to be very careful when you read the question. When you read the question. So here out of 1000 students means what? This 1000, it is the universal set. Okay, this is the universal set and not A union B, because we have taken set A as number of students who play hockey and set B as number of students who play football. So this is the difference, or if you are confused with the universal and the union, so I think now the confusion, it is cleared. Okay. So here substitute the value in this formula A union B. So here you will get answer as 800. Okay, substitution it is shown over here. Now this 800, it is the number of students, total number of students of A union B. Okay. So this 800, that is A union B, we will subtract it from the universal set. We will subtract it from the universal set. So universal set, you know that the number of students are how many? 1000. So 1000 minus 800 will be how much? 200. Okay. So there are 200 students who do not play either of the hockey or the football. Okay. Here for this example, the space is short, or you can divide the space into two parts so that it will fit the solution. Okay. Let us move to the next one. In all, 100 students. Okay. In all, 100 students. Now here also, in all they have given. Okay. In all. That means it is a universal set. Were asked the question, which subject of history and geography do they like? The information gathered was 57 students like history, 57 students like history, 38 students like geography, and 18 students like none of the two subjects. Okay, 18 students, they like none of the two subjects. Find with a Venn diagram or otherwise how many students like both the subjects. So here Venn diagram, it is not important. Okay, because they have told that find with a Venn diagram or otherwise. That means you can skip the Venn diagram. Okay, and solve on the space which is provided to you. Okay, both the thing you can do, or only Venn diagram you can do. Okay, any of this. So here also let U be the universal set, as n of U is equal to how many? 100 students are there. Okay, how many students are there? 100. So we will take the number of students who like history as the set A. So n of A equals to 57. Number of students who like geography will take as B. So n of B is equal to 38. Okay. Now, number of students who do not like any of the subject, means they don't like history, they don't like geography. Okay. So how many are there? They are 18. Okay. Now, what we will do, this 18, okay, this 18, we will subtract it. Okay. So n of U minus n of A union B. Okay, means what? They do not like any of the subject. So 100 minus 18 will give you how much? 82. Now these 82 students are such students who like both the subjects. Who like what? Both the subjects. Okay, means they like geography also, they like history also. So same formula, you will write n of A union B equals to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. Substitute here and then you will get the answer as that is 13. Okay, substitution, all of you know how to do the substitution. So n of A intersection B is equal to 13. So what is this 13? That is the students like both the subjects. Okay, here they have given the answer at the end. Okay, so whenever you solve the word problem, you need to read the question carefully. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Now, after completing the page number 6, okay, after completing the page number 6, on page number 7, there is practical number 3. Okay, there is practical number 3. So, here this practical, before starting with this practical, students here a simple construction type, or you can say pencil scale you need to use, protractor and the compass you need to use. So let us see first. That is to show a number line, the irrational number 2 plus root 3. Now here we are moving to the second chapter, that is the real numbers. Okay, and in real numbers, all of you know that there are rational number, irrational number apart from the natural whole number integer. Okay, so first of all, before solving this practical, you should know what is rational number and what is irrational number. Okay, what is irrational and what is rational. Now here you have to show the irrational number on the number line. So here the diagram, it is given to you. The same thing you need to do it. The space provided where the student's activity is a blank space, you can see there you need to draw the same diagram. Okay, but the difference, what the difference is that I will explain to you. I will not show the actual construction. I will tell you how to show it on the number line, because this type of example you have done in your practice set 2.2, that is representing the irrational number root 2, root 3, root 5 on the number line. But here the case is different, that is 2 plus root 3 is there. Okay, 2 plus root 3 is there. So that how you are going to represent, or what is the explanation needed for that I will explain. So material, compass box and paper, procedure. Now here procedure is given, steps are given and you need to follow that steps. That is draw a number line on a paper with suitable scale. So here you can see a number line they have drawn. Okay, so here number line you will draw. Okay, now here we have to mark, that is the 2 plus root 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, and so on. Now, whenever you are marking the integers on the number line, the distance between the 0 and 1, 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, it should be distinct. Okay, it should be distinct or it should be same. If you are taking 1 centimeter, then it should be 1 centimeter. If you are taking 2 centimeter, then it should be 2 centimeter throughout. Okay, don't change the distance between the integers. To show 2 plus root 3, first plot the number 2 plus root 2 to the right of the number 2 as shown in the figure. Okay, so what is the basic step, students? What is the basic steps? Whenever you want to draw root 2 on the number line, okay, whenever you want to draw root 2 on the number line, root 2, it is an irrational number. Irrational number means what? We cannot take the squares, or it is not a perfect square. Okay, it is not a perfect square. So for example, I'll explain you. See here, this is a right angle triangle. Suppose PQR. Okay, right angle triangle. Now PQ, I will take it as 1 unit. QR, I will take it as 1 unit. Okay, or 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter. Now this PR is the hypotenuse. Why? Because it is the opposite to the 90 degree. I want to find out the hypotenuse. So how I will find out the hypotenuse? By Pythagoras theorem. By Pythagoras theorem. So what's the Pythagoras theorem? That is the square of the hypotenuse. That is PR square. Okay. PR square equals to sum of the squares of the remaining two sides. That is the PQ square plus QR square. So PQ is what? 1. So it will be 1 square plus QR is what? 1. 1 square. 1 square is what? 1 plus 1 square is what? 1. 1 plus 1 is what? 2. Okay. So PR square equals to 2. So if you take the square root, because we don't want square, we want PR. Okay, we want what? PR. So what we will do? We will take the square root on both the sides. So what I'll get? PR is equal to root 2, because 2, it is not a perfect square. So this root 2 is an irrational number. Okay, is an irrational number. Okay, so this root 2, how it is plotted on the number line? Wait, I'll just clear out. Okay, so here you can see here it is 2 plus root 3. Okay, that means 2 plus. So here 0 to 1, 1 to 2. That means wherever you will plot root 3, it should be after 2. It should be what? After 2, because here in the question they have told to plot 2 plus root 3. Okay, 2 plus root 3. Now, just now I told you how to get the root 2. Okay, so here 2 plus root 3. So from 2 and 3. Okay, after 2. Again, I will repeat after 2, because it is 2 plus root 3. So after 2 on the point 3, okay, on the point 3, you can see a 90 degree they have drawn. Okay, they have drawn 90 degree with the help of the protractor. And this 2 to 3 is 1 unit. And here also on this perpendicular, they have cut the arc of the 1 unit. Okay, so this one and this one, wherever the arc cut, they have drawn, and this is nothing but it is a root 2. Just now I told you, I have explained about the root 2 by using the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, by using the Pythagoras theorem. So here this, suppose if I'll give the name as P, this is Q. Okay, so here this distance This distance from 2 to P, it is nothing but it is a root 2, which is the hypotenuse, which is the hypotenuse. Okay. Now, the measure of the hypotenuse, that means you will keep the pointer on the 2 and you will cut it on, cut the R, and wherever it cut on the number line, wherever it cut on the number line, this point you can see, that is what 2 plus root 2. Now, why 2 plus root 2? Because this distance is your root 2. Okay, this distance is your root 2. So this point, wherever it cut, it will be 2 plus root 2. Now, wherever it cuts, again on that point itself, you will draw the 90 degree. Okay, same method, 1 centimeter, 1 centimeter, you will cut the arc. And here you can see from 2 to Q, they have joined. And this distance, which is opposite to this 90 degree, it is nothing but it is root 3. Okay, so it is what? 2 plus root 3. So root 2, same by the Pythagoras theorem, you need to cut the arc from the point where it intersects. There itself you will draw the 90 degree and follow the same method. Okay, so this is how actually 2 plus root 3. Same way you can plot 2 plus root 5 on the number line. Okay, so here they have already done the construction for you. The same thing, the same construction you need to follow here to draw it on the space which is provided. Okay, so this is the practical number 2. That is the simple construction, it is there. Now next is on page number 8. Now here I have not taken a blank page as I have done in the first chapter, because now you are familiar that on which page number and so on. Okay, so directly the solution, I have taken the pics of it. So on page number 8, you can see that is the real number. There are some solved examples. There are some solved examples from the second chapter. That is first 3 are solved for you. Okay. You can see the fourth one. Fourth one, it is an activity based question as we have done in the previous one. Before solving the example, some activity questions and then the examples. Okay. So let us see the fourth one. Complete the following activity to simplify. That is root 5 minus 1 upon root 5 and root 5 minus 1 upon root 5. Two brackets are there. Okay. Two brackets are there. So solution, root 5 minus 1 upon root 5 into root 5 minus 1 upon root 5. This is same as a minus b and a minus b. So it is what? A square minus 2ab plus b square. This formula you need to apply. Okay. A square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay. So here a square, that is root 5 the whole square minus 2 into a and b. This is your a and this is your b. All of you know. So 2 into root 5 into 1 upon root 5 plus 1 upon root 5 the whole square. Now root 5 the whole square. Root 5 into root 5 will give you what? Root 25, and it is what? 5. Okay. Means whenever the number it is there in the root and if we will take the square, it becomes a whole number. It becomes what? Whole number. So it will be 5 minus 2 plus here also root 5, it will be root 5 will get cancelled, this part. This root 5 and this root 5 will get cancelled. So 2 into 1 it will be 2 plus 1 upon root 5. 1 square is 1 and root 5 square it will be 5. So 5 minus 2 plus 1 upon 5. Okay. So 5 minus 2 it will be 3 plus 1 upon 5. Now 3 plus 1 upon 5. Directly you cannot add. Okay. Directly you cannot add. You need to rationalize. Make the denominator same. Okay. Make the denominator same. Here nothing is there means what? Cross multiply. 3 5s are 15 plus 1, 16 upon 5. Okay. It should be 5 actually. Here the answer, it will be 5. So it will be what? 16 upon 5. Understood? So the answer it will be what? 16 upon 5. It should be 5 instead of 15. Okay. Okay. So I think that we will stop over here. Now the examples are there on from page number 9 that we will take in the tomorrow's lecture on the next lecture. So by that time you can complete up to page number 8. Okay. You can complete your practical booklet up to page number 8.